live. And we're back. Welcome to Fire for Effect Live, 15 March. What is it? 2023. Yeah, I'm having a hell of a fucking week. We'll get into that later on. Tonight we're going to talk about hard decisions, having to make hard decisions. But before we get into that, let's bring the boys in. Mr. Bryce Hooper. What's going on, bro? You staying blazed?
How are you? Always, man. There's always some form of cannabis coming through my...
Solved your technical difficulties?
Yeah. As usual, the computer decided to hard reset, and it took 20 minutes to do so.
Yeah, but you're still in the Mac universe, so it's okay. Hi, Jen. Hey, Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's easy access, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. So what's going on? I've been fucking. We haven't been on it in a month. Can you believe that?
Wow, has it been that long? I know I've done a couple of ketamine therapies. And,
yeah, I was going to ask how that's going.
It was a good thing we may have paused because I was the doses had me exhausted. My last dose was last Tuesday, and it actually helped immensely with my depression.
Really?
I just woke up, came out of the ketamine trip, and basically told the nurse in the room that it was probably the warmest feeling. Like it was like a Christmas morning almost as a kid. Like it was just it was unreal. So then just dealing with the after effects of all of the stuff that the universe decides to present as you're going through that kind of stuff, the psychedelics, then you have to just process thereafter.
And you have to go to Calgary for this? Like, it's like all your social media is you're in Calgary getting high.
Yeah. You don't, there is clinics available in Edmonton.
Yeah.
I just have partnerships and some coverage set up. So I'm able to go to Calgary and enjoy the space there.
Okay. So it's a good space.
Yeah.
Does VAC cover all this shit?
It's a base. It's a per basis. Some troops are getting it covered. Others are just getting just the mental health psychiatry portion covered.
Yeah.
Whereas the other portion is like the medicine part isn't being covered. But I know there's a clinic in Edmonton that does work with veterans as well, and I know there's a couple of veterans that have gone through and paid out of pocket there, so they know that it's beneficial, and the clinic is proven just as good as the one in Calgary. So.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. It's all about setting when you're doing psychedelics, right? So it all depends on who, what, and where.
What do you do? Hello, Danielle. Thanks for jumping in. So you go down there and you just get fucking baked on whatever?
Well, so 2 years ago, I went to Toronto and I participated with Field Trip. They were the first ketamine clinic around. And that one had tablets that you swish.
Yeah.
And I accessed them through Vanguard Wellness, which is veteran specific to them.
Okay.
And then they do tablets that kind of like dissolve in your mouth, and they control all of that. And then the clinic in Calgary is different because they actually use intramuscular. So they just put it in a needle and shove it in your arm. Blast you in.
And you go into fucking space for an hour or whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah. But they control it so that they have,
I don't know, man.
They have somebody monitoring your full vitals, your heart rates and so forth. Yeah. You also have the choice of a weighted blanket. You also have music that is programmed and specific for psychedelics. And you have 6 different options with Savvy Mind Clinic. You can also lay down on a couch, or they've got a really comfortable chair that you can kind of stretch out into. And then they've got auditory and visual blockers. So that way there's nothing from the outside that's kind of overstimulating, and you're just concentrating yourself on just what your brain and the universe is kind of projecting. So.
Wow. Yeah. JT's making spaghetti and meatballs for his kids. Good dad that he is. There he is.
Cool.
Morgan's going to jump in, but he's going to be late. He's got parent-teacher interviews, and I shot him this text back, and this might create some controversy for anybody watching or listening. And like, I know a couple people have kids that are watching. You guys have kids, right? Both of you guys,
Absolutely, yeah.
right? You got kids. So I said, just walk in and say, yeah, I know my kid sucks at math. I just wanted to know which fucking washroom to use. Right?
Fucking.
Oh, and I'm like, oh fuck, man, should I talk about that tonight? Right? Because I'm here. We're gonna get to the topic. I got a heartfelt topic to get to, but I want
Depending on the grade.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. You guys are parents. I don't have kids, right? So to caveat the balance of the conversation here, I don't have any fucking kids. Wouldn't have been a good dad anyway.
Whoa! Don't.
No, I can barely handle my own shit half the time.
Listen, you've been dealing with my crap for I don't know how long, however long.
It was a good dad to you. It was a great dad to you, man. Next to your dad.
I got 3 kids because of you.
I know, and you survived the Bay. We're doing a whole podcast on Thunder Bay, man. It's coming soon. Wait out, everybody. JT's got some T-Bay stories, man. She's gonna be fucking good.
Buds.
Anyways, I was like, fuck, can you even say that shit now? Like, everybody's so fucking wrapped and so woke and so left and everything. Like, oh my God, my kid's 7 and he thinks he's a girl. I'm like, no, he fucking doesn't think he's a girl. You're making him think he's a fucking girl. Let him go piss in the boys' washroom. And then people get upset when you say shit like that. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Why are you mad at me?
Well,
and I'm not. This isn't some. I know I'm wearing camouflage and I'm from Edmonton and I drive a truck and I was in the army. I'm a short fucking haired white guy. It's not against the LGBTY, whatever the fuck it is.
Call them the rainbow artists.
They got a lot of letters now, right?
Yeah,
and good for them.
Numbers. Yeah,
I don't give a fuck about that. Hey, Tara. But it feels like, let your kid make his own or her own fucking decisions when they are actually at an age to make a decision. I'm not a big fan of these. And a lot of bars, man, in town have these unisex, is that the right word? Washrooms?
I have no idea.
Which I think is fucked up. I don't agree with it at all, man. And most of the chicks that I know that have been to these places don't agree either. Like,
Yeah, it depends on what kind of bar or restaurant you're going to. You're going to find a variant of just look for the ones that you're looking for. If you're looking for a stall, go into the one with the stall. If there happens to be
like if you want to go in and like drop some bombs, man, you just want some space. I don't need some chick doing her makeup outside of the door. It's fucking bizarre to me. So he's doing that. What's Tara saying? I'm gonna bring this up. She's my good friend is protesting at her kid's school right now. They want to put in.
They want to put what in the washrooms, as in like the.
I think they want to go to this cross. No, that's not the right word either. Whatever, wherever he uses the same fucking shitter. I think that's what she's trying to say.
Oh, as in put in the open washrooms,
yeah. And you're just fucking inviting a disaster, man. To me, I think.
Yeah, especially in children's age, I
think that's the thing. I think it's like
there has to be mental health involved. There's a lot of things going on. It boggles the
fucking mind. It boggles me. Here's what boggles my mind: that those people, there I said it, are like pushing and promoting this, but everybody else on the same hand says, well, you shouldn't do marijuana. Your brain doesn't fully develop till you're 25, which is actual fact from what I know.
There's some science on that, but there's also science showing that if you're under 25 and if it's used properly and prescribed as a medication.
I'm not arguing that, but I'm saying if we could all agree on one thing, that if your brain's not fully developed till you're around 25 years old, how the fuck can you tell me that the kid wants to change its gender
to know what it is
or whatever?
Have you always known you were a boy?
Yeah, I know.
Why?
Right? I don't know.
Why?
I got a dick. I like chicks. Or I'm gay.
There you go.
Fine.
Yeah.
Go be gay. I don't care. But
some people... No, it's not so much being gay, dude. It's not so much being gay. It's that kid might not feel comfortable being the boy, where you might actually have a tom girl or a tomboy who's actually
Yeah.
not comfortable in that skin. Like, I get it, dude. There's people in my world who are, and who have transitioned completely, and you wouldn't know the difference once they've become that other sex. Once they become comfortable, and they've, there's a lot of mental health, and there's a giant process involved, and there's a lot of people in the veteran world that I've noticed posting lately that have ignorance written all over their posts, because they don't understand that you don't just make the choice and all of a sudden you are. It's something that it's a very long transition. Yes, there's a lot of kids that might be confused. For fuck's sakes, you can't tell nobody that we were dressing up as kids, right? Everybody loved to have Halloween. Everybody dressed up as whatever the fuck you wanted to. Sometimes those dresses, sometimes those pants just happen to fit better throughout the rest of the year, and it's more comfortable. Like, fuck, if I could dress up as a velociraptor and walk around with a fucking 6-foot tail and tell humans to go pound salt, man, I'd be thinking about putting prosthetic inserts in my back and hanging myself from ceilings if I could fucking do all that kind of shit. Like, don't get me wrong, dude. There's a lot, like, I've seen some very close friends on social media post recently about how it's not up to the kids. And you know what? It's not up to the kids. If you've got a good, solid parent, circling back to being a parent, and you're under a watchful supervision of what that kid is going through, it could just be hormones. It could just be depression and anxiety.
Well, I don't know. This wasn't a fucking thing when we grew up, man. Like, we're all roughly the same age.
No, it was. That's the problem. We have such, yes, 100%, dude.
I've got people in my life. Girls' washroom.
Oh, well, 100%. That was
you went to sex ed, and they explained how the shit all worked. And
they didn't talk about gay or anything like that. That was it. Because people were being killed for being gay back in the 70s, I get that. And 80s.
And I don't give a fuck. I never cared. Like, my fucking cousin, I got a gay cousin because everybody does. He's a good dude.
I've flirted with some dudes that were fucking hardcore, that were just happened to be fucking part of the rainbow.
Oh, I know some army guys that came out. Fuck, man. Actually, not gay.
It wasn't there a Patricia
gender?
There was
there's a Patricia Major. I don't want to get sued here, but I might bring it up.
Yeah, his name was
Keith. His name was Keith. He was a major.
Yeah,
he was a good dude. Hardcore, fit, fucking like that guy, streamer.
Yeah.
Well, he became Kate,
man,
and I had a real hard time. And then it was like selling furniture in Fort McMurray, like commercial furniture to oil and gas industry.
Hey.
And they're like, yeah, Kate's up here. She's representing insert company here. Do you want to meet her? I'm like, fuck no. Because I remember when Kate was Keith. So that's Keith's choice to become Kate. And it's my choice to go, fuck you. I don't want to meet you.
Yeah, absolutely. You can be that person. You're allowed to be, dude.
And it's not like I can't handle it. It's just, this is fucking different for me. So,
yeah,
it's not a phobia. It's not a phobia thing. It's not a fucking thing. It's not a thing like that.
Absolutely not.
It's
but they were even doing parodies of this when MASH was on TV. There was people dressing up, right? 100%, man. You can't tell me that's not based
the cross-dresser fucking episode of Fire Effect for everybody watching.
Well, actually,
apparently we're there. JT, go ahead.
Well, it's funny about the cross-dressing thing, and this whole movement of gender identity. Like, it is incredibly complex. I am not an expert. I am fortunate enough and blessed that I've had people that have actually gone through this, and I've been able to help and support. And again, just at the end of the day, especially working with this population, it comes down to love. Just everybody wants to be loved. Everyone wants to have their experience. Everyone wants to feel comfortable in their skin. And the only thing I can speak to as a kid that grew up in a pretty tough town. Like, I was a big kid. Like, I was fat. Like, I was overweight, and I had
you're good.
Well, I'm big again, but like, I'm kind of muscular, but at the same time I was young. I was, hormones were kicking around, and I looked like a girl, like I did. And I was picked on as a kid, beat up by steadily, daily. I think we were talking about this maybe yesterday there.
Yeah. Don't sell yourself short, dude. I would fuck the guts out of you, man. You're hot. Like you are, bro.
I know. I know.
Right. Let's be honest.
And again, I'm not minimizing, or I'm not trying to make any kind of comparison, because like as you were saying, like I had like a great mom, great dad, and supported me, and I just had certain constants, and like really that's the issue I think we're running into right now, is like the entire platform's changing. There's constant there's tons of changes and definitions of who and what you can be, but really the one thing I can echo
Hey,
and talk
Tara wants to see your fucking titties, bro. Come on, let's see him.
my milkshakes bring all the boys to the yard.
Oh, he's doing good. He's back in the gym.
I'm down 15 pounds. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling good.
Yeah,
But
that's a lot, man. 15 pounds, like fucking, that's like a quarter of my weight, isn't it? Something like that.
Dude, man, like on any given day, I could probably drop 5 pounds. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just how I'm built.
After a coffee in the morning, yeah.
Yeah, after coffee and smoke. But Eddie Izzard is a comedian that I watch quite a bit, and again is not sure where he is on his journey in spectrum, and I don't want to speak to that. But for him, his defense for the bathroom thing is just take out the urinals, make it that's the bathroom. It's one place. It's a safe space. Everyone gets their stalls. It's safe.
I
you can
think
bang
I'm
one
more
out.
worried-
You do what you need to do, right?
That's the problem.
To be honest, because I've
Yeah,
witnessed this firsthand in the last few months, in fact, where women are being fucking harassed by drunk dicks
Huge, yeah.
in
problem.
these community, whatever the fuck you call them, unisex,
Yep.
multi-gender washrooms. I'm like, no. If a chick, when women are at the bar and they got fucking issues, because women always go to the bathroom together. I have no fucking idea why that is, but that's what they do.
Safety.
We
don't have to think about it, dude. But it's
don't.
literally for safety.
It's not like, okay, Bryce, you and me are at the bar. I'm like, hey, bro, let's go to the shitter.
Yeah. No. For some nose beers, absolutely. I've seen 5 or 6 dudes try it.
I'll tell you though, like
the direction. But I think I know women who are not fucking happy with this whole single bathroom thing, because they can't go in there and talk to the girlfriend and go, that guy's a creep, fucking blah blah blah, right? Like you just took that outlet away from them, because that same drunk fuck can walk right in there and just continue to create problems. And
so
bouncers these days are fucking junk. They don't have any balls. Like I was there's this bar called Common on 109th Street. I went there 2 times in the last 3 months and had fucking problems that I didn't initiate both times. And I looked at the bouncers and I'm like, I could slap this guy with a wet noodle. He'd hit the fucking pavement. Like they're not, and I get it. They're scared because of the society we're in, where they're going to get sued or fucking whatever. They're fucking useless, man. Back in the day, watch Roadhouse, one of the best movies ever made, by the way.
Yeah.
Bouncers would take you out and fuck you up. And they're not like that anymore. So you go to these fucking bars to close the loop on this, where, you know, women just want to go take their girlfriend, have a conversation in the shitter, and now they can't because some dick fuck might come in and wreck their shit. So I got a problem with that. I think it's the stupidest fucking idea. And to come back full circle, I do not believe this is a good idea in the education system that young kids that are like 7, 8, 9 years old are, you know, doing that, using the same washroom, right? Is that what I'm talking about? Feels like that's what I'm talking about.
It's coming down to who, like, a safe place to go use the facilities. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, boys are boys because they have dicks. Chicks are chicks because they have vaginas. That's how they were born. Figure it the fuck out later when you have a mental age to do so. And if you want to change your gender, go ahead. If you want to be gay, go ahead. If you want to be the rest of the letters in the thing, go ahead. But I do not believe we should be like fucking promoting and pushing this as a thing. And this sounds extremely right wing and everything. I know what it sounds like, man. I know what it sounds like. But it's like, fucking let them figure it out later. Like, let them figure it out naturally. Not, oh, we need to do this. We need to be inclusive.
The problem is you can't.
Inclusive and left and woke and all this bullshit.
It's
no, man. Let them figure the fuck out.
You can't let them figure it out later because it's suppressing mental health and other issues that are going on. Like this, it transformation issues.
Well, that's the other thing we're
can
pushing
come-
on people is everybody has a mental health problem now, Bryce.
No,
No, they
dude, it's
fucking
not
don't.
now. It's not now, dude. We've had a mental health issue in this country for 100 fucking years. And if you say otherwise, I think you should go look at the stats, dude. That's the problem is our parents didn't think if you had a mental health issue, you were actually weak. That was the problem. It's come to our
Oh,
generation.
I know
now.
that. I know that.
Our generation are the first generation where we're able to speak up and go, "Hey, yo, I'm fucking tired." I
Sure.
did 3
And
tours over
we're
pond.
all doing great on that. And there's
Yeah.
huge companies making tons of money off of that.
Yeah, there's all sorts of companies making.
Yeah.
fucking
Oh, okay. So
pharmaceuticals.
everybody
Yeah.
has like fucking in the 80s, for those of you old enough to remember that are watching or listening, it was back pain, chronic back pain. Oh, my back hurts. I can't come to work. I got back pain. In fucking the 2000s to today, it's everybody and his fucking dog has PTSD.
Yeah.
Everybody.
It's
Everybody.
a very broad brush
Now,
now. Yeah.
people in my world, you fuckers, can actually speak to what that really is. But fucking everybody and his dog's got PTSD and
Yeah, but it's in its
mental health
name,
this,
man.
mental health that. And I'm not against fucking managing mental health as a problem. What I'm against is it being pushed down your fucking throat. That's what I'm against.
Yeah.
Shit gets pushed down your throat so some fucking cunt can make money off of it.
Oh, if it's
Anyway.
linked back that way, yeah, you just have to watch how you heal. Pharmaceuticals have giantly failed over the last little while. Hey, there's a lot of room for a lot of different pharmaceuticals in the medicine world. It has helped me heal along my way since I got out of the military 100%, and kept me from killing myself on high doses of antidepressants just because it kept me alive. At the same time,
Is
for
that
that
really
long,
the solution, or are you just masking the fucking problem?
100%. I've had hundreds, if not thousands, of hours in talk therapy and psychology and all that kind of stuff on top of what I found more to work. And this is in my experience with my own mental health.
Yeah.
PTSD, depression, and all that jazz from the fucking army. It's psychedelics have helped me more. And yeah, I'm a big cannabis guy. Cannabis is nothing more than a Band-Aid medication. It is. If you're on it long term, you're not dealing with all of your issues. And there's other psychedelics that'll actually help you with cannabis dependency, no different than the studies that are going out right now with psilocybin and alcohol dependence. There's actually a clinic
Listen, we're not picking on alcohol tonight. Fuck that.
I'm not picking on it, but if there's an
Nobody's
issue,
beating up on alcohol on my show, man.
if you have issues, though, there are studies going on in Calgary and in Edmonton with mushrooms, and it's
Drink
clinical
Pilsner
based.
beer.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, though.
No,
right?
I get it.
It's worked for many other army guys and veterans for the last how many thousands of years.
Yeah,
It's also been proven that
fucking works great.
yeah,
I'm tired of people shooting it down. I know it's detrimental. My mother was a hardcore alcoholic. It fucking didn't do well for our family. Her dad was an alcoholic, my grandfather. Rest in peace. And mom. And I know what it is. But it's like, I fucking like drinking to manage my shit. And I know that that's a horrible thing to say. People are like, oh my God, you need to talk to somebody. Like, fucking shut the fuck up, man. What I need is a goddamn fucking Ryan Coke. And fuck off and leave
people
me
it
the
helps
fuck
with.
alone, and I'll handle my shit. JT's like shaking his
100%.
fucking head.
No, it's just like, I know you mentioned masking earlier, but it's a case of what's going to get you through the day. And I gotta find this this one discussion that was on another radio show. And it was just this great discussion of like substance use, how you're getting through the day, alcoholism, and everything to that effect. But it was a very matter of fact discussion where it's like, if you want to drink alcohol, you have more. It's like the same thing with cigarettes. With alcohol, you have more than 2 drinks a week, it's going to kill you. Don't know how it's going to kill you. It's going to kill you either with your liver, heart.
Oh, yeah. The Canadian Food Guide is now under
Yep.
fucking massive pressure to readjust their thing.
Yeah, but that's
Or
the same thing with
whatever
cigarettes,
it
same
is.
thing with ever, right? Like, so the thing is like,
Don't talk about cigarettes, but I don't smoke in my house, man. I
I
need
know.
a dart so bad right
but
now.
I'll bring up Dennis Leary, as he said a bazillion years ago. I think it was on his asshole special or whatever.
Yeah.
If you put skull and crossbones on cigarettes, we're still gonna put them. You put skull and crossbones, like here, got a bottle of wine right here. You put a big skull and crossbone on that, probably still gonna drink it. You put a big picture of liver cirrhosis on it, probably still gonna have a drink. So, yeah, I know Ryan says 12 drinks a week. It's 2.
Fucking Ryan's on point.
I again, most people probably lean to Ryan, but
That's what the fucking army
drinks a
said,
week.
right? It was funny, man.
whatever the army said, sure.
No, listen, buddy. When I was on,
I know what it says. Listen, I'm very well versed in what it says. I'm past any kind of therapeutic range, for
right?
these
So
things.
for everybody watching and
Like,
listening,
this is expert consultation right now, where it's like that's the big thing.
oh,
You
there he
got
is.
the
Just in
expert
time
talking?
for the alcohol discussion. Here's Mr. Morgan Warren.
Oh,
How'd it go with your kid, man? Does he know what shitter to use or what?
Oh yeah, he's good. I wasn't too concerned about these greasy civvies timings. I had my timings lined up. My time appreciation was good.
There we go.
Fucking greasy civvies, the timings. God damn it.
Listen,
Oh
man.
my god. No wonder the world is going to shit. People can't even make simple timing.
No, that's exactly
Morgan
why
joining
the
us
world
from
is
the
going
from
to
the
shit.
moon.
Just came back from parent-teacher interviews, shitting all over the
Yeah.
teacher for not making their fucking timing. His kid's
Yeah.
using the right washroom, so we're good. So we
Yeah.
were talking
I
about
don't talk about that anymore, though, you know, because you can use their
Yeah.
washroom you want. You can identify as a fucking mop bucket or something and whatever, and then you can go hang out in the janitor's closet.
So yeah, so I was before you jumped in, I was dagging for fucking Bosnia. This is 2002-ish. And whoops, sorry, I fucked that up. I'm trying to put him out. There he is, he's back. Anyways, fucking when you a DAG for everybody watching, listening is a departure assistance group. It's a bunch of bullshit paperwork and stuff you need to do before you go overseas. And there's a medical questionnaire, blah, blah, blah. And then you get to this alcohol part that everybody in the fucking army lies about, right? And it's how much do you drink per week?
I didn't lie about it.
No, here's what I did.
Yeah.
This is an experiment. I said 14 drinks a week, which is complete fucking bullshit, right? As we all know. You guys know how much I drink.
Way more than that.
And the reason I said 14, because at the time we had a 2-can rule overseas, right? You're allowed 2 beers a day.
2 bay, yeah.
So 7 days a week,
14
dumb
there,
grade 8
yeah.
stats from math that I have is 14 drinks. And she goes, well, you know, we consider that on the threshold. I'm like, the threshold of what? Where you have a drinking problem. I'm like, fucking bitch, let me explain this to you. You're allowed 2 beers a week a day while you're over there. Fucking, I drink way more than that. I wrote that number down to get your fucking attention. So you and the rest of the Canadian Armed Forces are not clearly fucking aligned on this. And I walked the fuck out, man.
So I almost got kicked off our tour. I don't know if you ever knew about this there, Chris. About
You fucking were honest with them?
Yeah, I was on. No.
Oh my God, no one's honest on that.
I was
question.
honest.
Honestly, it's not the best policy in the calf.
No, it's
Fuck
not.
no.
Yeah, it's worked for me so far. I'm still around. But yeah, I was heading home after Suffield, and I was annihilated. I got on the bus, and we were going to Winnipeg doing our thing. I lit up the major that we were with. Fun, like I thought I was just being funny. That wasn't the case. He was pretty upset about it.
I guess not.
Yeah. Got on the bus, made it to Winnipeg. I was making my way back to Shiloh, and I had a call from the doc, like Doc Thibodeau, my boss, and he's like,
Doc T, good dude,
Doc
man.
T, yeah, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
He straight up says, like, can you give me some optics on the situation? So I explained it to him. So he's like, so you were completely intoxicated and you told the major exactly what you thought of him? I'm like,
yes.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what I did. He's like, okay, so
It fucking felt like the thing to do.
Yeah, it was the thing to do. Everyone laughed except for him. Anyway, it all worked out. But my messaging from Doc T was, he's like, so how much are you drinking? I gave him the actual number. And he's like, okay, well, I'm
Is
surprised.
that
you're alive."
because you knew him or because you felt compelled to fucking like tell him the real number? Because nobody does that.
I'm honest with it. I was honest with him. I'm honest with myself. So I told him, and he's like, okay, well, that isn't compatible with life. So your job from now on is to drink at least no more than 6 beers a night. Questions? I'm like, oh, okay. And then that was that.
But that's
That was
not what you did. There's no way you cut it down to 6 beers a night.
Anyway, I went on tour and everything was fine.
You did, man. Fuck, you lost a lot of weight. You look like a fucking, by the end of it, he looked like an orange on a toothpick running
Well,
around.
that's the thing. Like, you know, for me, it's like,
No, he did. I shit you not. He showed up as a fat fuck and he got hard into PT. And I actually pulled him aside at one point and I said, you need to stop doing fucking PT. Because his body kept getting
Shrinking. My head was
like
just
tighter,
enormous.
but his fucking head, which is the size of a fucking space station,
Yeah, I think I kind of look like, hang on a second.
it never got smaller.
No,
I was sitting up-
never did. Never
I
did.
was
I kind
sitting
of
up on
look
this
like
catwalk.
that.
I was sitting up on this fucking catwalk.
Around.
I'd be smoking cigarettes, drinking coffee. And I'd see him doing his laps around the camp, right? And I'm like,
True.
holy fuck, look at this. He's like a fucking inverted Weeble wobble, man.
I was a beast, man. I was a beast. I was able to deadlift. I was deadlifting 450, full 50.
Yeah, but here's the thing, all you fucking guys, all those dudes on the QRF,
yeah,
like they were going down out in the desert because they didn't have their fucking stupid protein shake. Like these, like we be out there, and I live off 3 things that I'm deployed: coffee, nicotine, and rage. That's it. I can go out there for fucking days, man. And we're out and it's hot and we're dismounted doing some shit or whatever. And these big jacked fucking dudes are thundering in because they don't have that intake of whatever the fuck's in that big jar of powder 3 times a day, man. And I'm like,
I'm coming to their defense here, man.
You go right ahead, but I'm telling you, I would talk to their bosses going, what the fuck's wrong with your guy?
The fact that you weigh 75 pounds, like probably you can cut one of my legs off, and that's the size.
Oh, buddy, I'm a fat fuck.
Like,
now. I'm up to 160.
Oh, 160. Well, both
160.
legs this time you got to cut off for me. Like, if you really think about, if you do the math, like the simple math, when you have like an infanteer that's like carrying the better part of 500 pounds worth of equipment, like you do the simple math, it ain't gonna work out. Like you could probably work off spits to get cigarettes and like maybe you did 100%. You did. They still owe us money.
It can be done, man. And I was packing the same shit.
It's scientific. It's science, man. But like, I don't know how you didn't die, or
that's how pure fucking rage, bro. Fuck you. Fuck off. Get the fuck up. Pick your shit up. Let's go.
Oh my god.
Why are you sitting on the roof?
Was that one of the bison?
Because that's where I rode, dude. That's how you get to the hatch.
Oh, you're the air sentry in the back.
No, I'm the crew commander. I got a C6 and a fucking. No, I'm the air sentry. I ran the team.
Where you got that picture done?
It looks like a bison. Sorry.
No, that's a Cougar Mark II.
Yeah, Cougar.
Anyway, moving on.
Chris riding his Cougar, fingering in it.
You know what the most fucked up thing was? You know where we kept all the fucking IEDs? Behind my head in a box.
Yeah, actually, I do remember that now.
Right?
I was like,
we got this awesome, the most state-of-the-art fucking up-armored, kick-ass vehicle for protecting the troops, right?
Yeah.
And okay, so we render safe an IED, which could be like a 500-pound explosive, like blow your fucking vehicle in half, which we've seen. And where do we store it to take it back to the camp? In this fucking stupid metal box, ratchet strapped to the roof, right behind where I was fucking riding in the crew commander.
Jesus.
Like, what in the fuck, man? Why the fuck am I in the... Don't we have a better system than this? Nope. Riding in the goddamn fucking crew commander fucking hatch. I got fucking 500 pounds of explosives behind my fucking head as we bounce down the road, hacking a dart. Good to go, whatever.
Yeah.
There he's back. Anyway,
had to kiss the wife and wish her good luck. She's going in the army tonight. So
She's going to do
good
army
luck.
shit. Good for her.
Yeah, I brought my heels
Yeah.
together, saluted her, and then she headed out.
Congratulations to JT's wife, Vanessa, who finally got fucking promoted to captain after 900 years.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah. Good for her. Go do the things. So I want to jump into the topic. We bullshitted enough, and there's a few people watching that want us to get into this.
We're
As
totally
you
getting canceled after this, so it's all good.
As you guys know, I had to put my oldest dog down this week. Not we, meaning myself and Jen, who's watching right now. It's a mutual decision. And it was one of those things where it came up fast. He was an old dog. He started having seizures, and you know, the vet's gonna say, well, fuck, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. And he had pancreatitis, which they had to treat first. And fucking then it was gonna be a bunch of shit. But it's like they're trying to tell you the things you can do, and it's a balanced decision between the dogs. This is not the first time we had to put our last Mocha down too, right? A few years ago. And it's just like, fuck, man. As much as you don't want to do something, and I'm not gonna sit here and use this as a soapbox to talk about my fucking dog. I miss him, but it's one of those. Oh, here we go again. I got to make that decision, and is it the right one? And I've been second guessing it. Like, well, maybe I should like fucking what you're not supposed to do, right? Because we've all made at some point, and everybody on this fucking forum right now, and everybody watching this show or listening to this later, at some point in your life, you are put in a situation where you need to make a fucking hard decision. And I think, and we're going to talk about that process. So I'm gonna lead this off and let everybody kind of jump in and let you guys tell a story, and then we're gonna break it down into what lead the thought process from a military mind and how to make decisions, because we're gonna try to educate people here, and then managing impact. So definitely put my fucking dogs down. Hardest decision ever. Way harder than any military decision I ever made. I made some fucking hard decisions in the military. And it's because your dog, in this case, can't communicate with you. It trusts you implicitly to take care of it with its entire life. And then, you know, it can't say, no, I don't want to die, help me, or yeah, I got to go. You just fucking spend time with it and you make that choice. So that's that. You know, on the military side, I made some fucking hard choices. It was very hard on the guys that worked under me, pushed them fucking far beyond their limits. JT, you were there, especially the day after 30 December, where a whole whack of good dudes, good people got blown up. And it was a 13-hour day, and you just want to give them a break, but you can't. It was 3:00 in the morning. I hauled him into my room/office and said, got it. I know this other call sign stood down because we just lost fucking four military guys and a civilian reporter are dead. And we were out there picking up their body parts and shit for hours and hours and hours and hours, 13 hours all in. I said, go get some fucking sleep and get ready. We're going to go again. The fucking radio is going to crack off and we're gone. Fucking keep your head in the game. And that was the hardest fucking thing to ever say. Right? But it is what it is. Yeah. So let's go around the fucking horn, man. Hard decision, civvy or military, JT?
Well, actually, Chris, we have kind of a very unique relationship, and I can actually give some insight to that decision that you made. Like, I'm not going to go into any specific decision I've made, because I've made, man, like I could write a book on good, bad, poor decisions, and like having to.
Yeah, so everybody knows JT's now in civvy life. He's a paramedic in the city of Edmonton.
Yeah, like paramedic. Yeah, sorry there, Chris. Just to give some context. Yeah, paramedic background, medicine background. Let's just leave it at that. So, like, for me, a lot of the decisions that I have to make day in, day out are going to impact someone's life or someone's family, and I have to make the best decision that I can. But the only thing I wanted to say there real quick, Chris, because I came in afterwards, after the 30th. Like I wasn't there for it. Still
Yeah,
have
you were
issues
on
with
leave.
that.
Lucky you.
But I was lucky. But not one person regretted what you said, did, how you acted, and most people were better off with just making it a matter of fact issue, not diminishing how crazy it was, but just like saying, hey, this is the job, this is what we're doing. We need to move forward. We're not taking time off. It's not time to sit and kind of fix things. It's time to move forward. We'll all have our talk, we'll do our thing, but this is the business. This is the profession of arms.
Yeah,
So anyway,
we'll have the conversation in Cyprus
that's
on
enough.
decompression. Till then, fucking front sight focus. Let's go.
Move
And
forward.
that's
So
what it was, but it's a hard thing to do, man.
it's not easy, right? And the thing is it gets harder to kind of process it later, like as you continue to live with it, right? And so
Well,
for me, with all the hard decisions I've had to make, and I can't really go into a lot of them, even with the one that I'd like to discuss, I probably shouldn't bring it up. But you know, it's you're making the best decision you can. You're making the most educated decision you can at that time. Right or wrong, that's for history to figure out. That's the way I live, by making decisions. And actually, Morgan, you, I think, articulated that excellent during some of our previous conversations, where it's like left or right, like you need to make a decision here now, and left or right can actually be like a life decision. Sorry, a life deciding question. Like,
well,
up,
and
down.
that, and when you consider, and we'll get to that. We'll circle back, but fuck me, considering Morgan's profession and specific skill set, that is fucking massive, monumental decision time.
Yep, left or right, up or down. And no one talks about that, where it's just like those simple decisions. It's like, I need you to
I don't know,
watch
is it
this
simple or
direction. I
not?
need you to look this direction, right?
It's no, well, like let's. I want to hear what he has to say, because do you
Yeah.
squeeze that trigger? Or you not, or maybe that's not even what you want to talk about. You're up, buddy.
Well, yeah, I guess I can hit on that one as well. But yeah, you know, you're putting those in those situations, and I mean, you know your ROE, but at the same time, I mean, especially now more than ever, you are worried about are you making the right decision? Am I going to get in shit? Am I going to end up in jail? Because we've seen some different stories, even from like within the Canadian military, with that he was an RCR captain. His name was Semero. He wrote a book, and he made a call,
Yeah.
and people thought it was a bad call. And I mean, I don't, obviously I wasn't there. I don't know all the details. I'm just using it as an example, and it came back to bite him in the ass.
Yeah,
So
no.
like as a young master corporal, as a sergeant, we're at the bottom of the barrel here, and here you are, you could, positively or negatively, affect, a tactical level decision. You could there could be a combat team commander, battle group commander, and you could, you could be the difference between failure and success. You pull that trigger, and next thing you know, you unmask. The attack has to go in early, and you fuck things up big time, or you pull that trigger early, and you keep that that combat team from getting outflanked. So although they have to launch early, you still save their ass. So am I saving their ass, or am I going to or am I going to tip my hat too early? So all of these things are going through your mind. You're like, am I going to make that shot, or do I wait out? And yeah, that weighs heavily on your shoulders, especially if you're a deck commander. If you're a sergeant, you're a master corporal. It's not on the corporal trigger puller. It's on you. So it affects, it could affect. I mean, it could affect your mental health as an individual if you think you made a bad call. But at the same time, imagine if you don't make that call, and next thing you know, that was an RPG team or a machine gun crew, and some Canadian soldiers were to lose their lives because you hesitated. So I mean, all these things go through your mind, right?
Sure.
Am I going to get in shit? Am I going to get somebody else killed? Or if I don't, if I don't kill somebody else, is somebody else going to lose their life? And you got to kind of. You gotta weigh it out.
And I want to break down, because I want to provide some education here for people. We'll get it. I want to hear what Bryce, if you've got a story. If you don't, you don't. But if you do, good. And then we're gonna break down the decision process on critical or hard decisions, and how we calculate them, because we're calculated people as military people, and then manage impacts. If they're good, it's easy. If they're bad, it's different. So Bryce, what do you got any?
I know.
I got another way to look at it too, Chris.
Yeah, go ahead, dude.
So obviously, like we just talked about, like the Army, combat, Afghanistan in particular.
Yeah.
Well, you're talking about making a tough decision. Like, look at my life for the last year and a half, right?
Yeah.
I had to make a call. Am I going to get vaccinated? Am I not going to get vaccinated? Especially at the time, I'm like, I was told you're going to be kicked out of the Army, within, 30 days.
Which was your life? Which was your life?
You're losing your pension. You're losing everything.
Yeah.
Right. So do I stand on my morals, or do I take a knee? And it was one of those things, right?
Yeah, I know it's a hard fucking decision.
Because I mean, it's not just me. I'm not a single dude. I mean, I got a family that I got to look after, and that's what puts bread on the table, right? So, I mean, you want to talk about stress? I mean, I'd rather be on a hilltop in Afghanistan getting mortared than have to make that decision again.
Well, fuck. Okay.
I say that to people.
How many times in life have we all? Okay, I know. I think it all the time. Like, I'd rather be in Afghanistan doing the shit that we used to do than half the fucking shit I deal with now.
Yeah.
And that's fucked up. But that's just how we think.
Yeah.
Bryce, go ahead, man.
No, 100, dude. No, yesterday would have been Sunday would have been a year that I actually had to put down my last bulldog as well, Top Hat. So I totally understand how fucking difficult it is to have to put down a family member like that, especially if they're older and they're a little bit sick. Top Hat blew his back out jumping off the couch, and it blew a bunch of discs.
Fuck.
And he was on painkillers for like a week, dude. And after, it was like talking to everybody, and it's no different than seizures. I've got another one now who's 10 years old, and he's got seizures, and he's a vegetarian bulldog because that's the only thing that he's able to.
He's a fucking hippie, just like you.
Yeah, dude. He doesn't use cannabis anymore, but it helped with his seizures for a little bit. But he's post that now, where he's using medication and so forth.
Oh my God.
Let's circle back to the conversation, because we could get lost in my bulldog.
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, Chris, I know we only have so much time here, but I did want to ask Morgan something real quick in regards to his decision process.
Go nuts. It's my show. Yeah. We have as much time as we want.
Roger that. So Morgan, I'm always in awe of your profession. We've talked about this a few times, and the astronomical amount of respect that I have for the combat arms. When you're making those decisions, how much information are you inundated with when you're making some of those decisions? You know what I mean? Like, I know for me, like when I'm making decisions, and I know, Chris, I don't want to, if this is the next kind of step or next leg we're going into, I don't want to.
Well, no, because this drives what we're talking about. It's the decision process. Yeah. And if we're going to talk sniper shit, cool. Let's talk sniper shit, because it's fucking cool shit. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Well, not even sniper. Like, not to that.
But whatever. You're asking a question, and this feeds the next step to this is if you're going to make a fucking hard decision, you want as much goddamn intelligence, data, fucking whatever before you make that decision, right? So it's a great question. So let's let them answer that.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I ever felt like I was like inundated or overwhelmed with information, because I mean, obviously you receive your orders, you go out there, you kind of know your left and right, and I mean, it's not like we're special forces guys and we're out doing a hit on on Osama bin Laden or anything like that, where we're like, oh, is it the guy? Most times for us, it's like targets of opportunity for us are going to be communications operators, crew serve weapons, shit like that, right? So it's going to be easier to identify, and if we're in position earlier, we'll kind of get to know that pattern of life, the things that so I mean, making that shot, if you're just from like a one-dimensional point of view looking at it like that, it's pretty simple, but it's how, because I mean, snipers are part of combat support company, focus on that word support. We're there to support our commander's intent, whether that's a company commander, a battalion commander, or brigade commander. And we want to make sure that we know like what triggers have to be met so that we can be put in a position that we can open fire, so that we're not compromising somebody else's part of the plan, or we're not going to force somebody else into a tough spot, So my mind as a dad was kind of I'll think more of, am I effectively, supporting, this unit? Am I achieving the commander's intent by doing this, right? So those are my kind of checks and balances, along with like obviously like your ROE. And it changed when you were over there. So, what type of threat do they pose? I mean, at the time, are weapons visible? What the hell are they doing? There's a point in time where you could grease a guy with a cell phone because you're like, yeah, I think that guy's a forward observer, fucking done, right? But then later on, you couldn't do that. Maybe he's just making a long distance phone call. He's got shitty service, so he's on a high feature, like. Well, so as times change, you adapt with that. But there's times where like you're like, oh, I want to shoot that motherfucker, but you couldn't because of that ROE, right? And sometimes like that would, that put a lot of pressure on you too. And like if you knew dead to rights that was a forward observer or he did have a weapon, you're okay. Well, then it gets a little bit easier. But if he is just a guy on a rooftop in Afghanistan with a cell phone, that's everybody in Afghanistan, right? So you just go around shooting people with cell phones.
That's funny you mentioned that. So let's talk about ROE is rules of engagement. Morgan's not so good at civvies yet because he's still in.
I'm still in.
I found that kind of not really. Loosening of the ROE. Canada had the best ROE in theater. I'm telling you right now, man. I rolled with Americans, with Brits, and we had the most fucking flexible rules of engagement, which I thought we wouldn't, but we did. 100% we did. And specifically when it came to IED shit, in the early days, you had to actually catch the guy putting a bomb in before you could fucking take him out. And then, as more and more people were getting smoked by IEDs and everything, and the enemy became more elusive and understood our ROEs, they changed it. It was like, okay, if that guy's carrying IED components, like a fucking motorcycle battery or a bunch of command wire or whatever, you can engage him as a combatant. And okay, well, that's great. But it's like now you're faced with a decision going, fuck, is that guy really a risk or a threat? Or am I going to make a mistake before we put a fucking 25 millimeter round through him from a lav, right? Or whatever, right? So I was like, holy fuck me, man. So if I, like the first call we went on, command wire got rolled in, like they could see the guy with a big bundle of wire under his arm. That's pretty fucking easy. Take him out. But it's you get in those weird situations where with a more relaxed, a more robust rule of engagement that we were given, it actually makes it more complicated or more risky to make a decision on whether you're going to fucking engage somebody that you perceive as a threat or the enemy versus am I making a mistake? Maybe, as Morgan said, he's just some fucking asshole on a roof with a cell phone because there's a million of those guys over there. Yeah. So I don't know.
Like, most of us are not psychos. So, I mean, even if you were to, say do something outside the ROE and you get away with it, so to speak, because it's kind of lawless over there. If you're by yourself in a small team, you probably could. But at the end of the day, you still got to live with yourself.
Well, right? That's it, right?
You got to be able to live with yourself. So, I mean, yeah, rules and regulations are one thing, but like, where do you fall, like, ethically and morally, right?
Yeah, you got to carry. You got to carry.
I got to be able to look myself in the mirror every day. So I got to make these calls, not just for the ROE, not just for the greater good, but just for myself personally, because I'm a good person.
Because it doesn't matter whether you were right or wrong, or somebody knows, or that's all fucking irrelevant. What matters is, can you live with that decision that you made, right? So now we're talking about managing impact. Like you have to be able to fucking, before you make the decision, if we're going to break this down, you try to get as much information so you make the best decision you can. And you're never going to have all the information. There's an old adage in the Army, okay, we got 80% of the information, fucking good to go. Let's cross the start line. You're never going to have 100%.
80%? What unit were you in? I want to be in that unit.
Okay. Yeah.
That's pretty hard for them.
Were you special forces? 80%.
As if they had 80. If you hit fucking 80%, you're doing great. So it's like what I'm saying to everybody watching, listening is you're never going to fucking have all the information you need to make that hard decision, whatever that is, whether you remortgage your house, whether you put your dog down, whether fucking whatever it is. You're never going to have it. And if you wait for that, you become ineffective at decision making. And I've seen officers, and NCOs, guys that are not capable of making decisions because they're scared. They're afraid to make a decision. And I get it. Like, fuck, man, I would rather hide under a pile of coats and, and hope it all works out than make a lot of the decisions I made. Unfortunately, that's not the fucking cards I was dealt. It's
no,
like
we'd always joke around. We'll always joke around, Chris, as warrant officers, you're like, sometimes, the crown gets heavy, and that's part of it. You have that rank on your chest to make those decisions. It is our job to accept that risk and figure it out. And I almost think, Chris, like when you look at like bigger picture right now, like in like even not just Canadian, but global politics and even the CAF right now, I think the reason we're in the state that we're in is because people's inability to make any kind of a decision. Point in case, I mean,
they're afraid to make decisions.
Yeah, and I think I'm a perfect example of this, Chris, because you and I have talked about it a bunch of times. Yeah. Like the QRNOs and the NDA states that I should have been charged with a 126. Why wasn't I?
Exactly.
That right there stems from people are afraid to make a decision because people are afraid to get in trouble.
Because they don't see the whole picture, or they don't have all of the information.
Well, but like Chris said, you're never going to see the whole picture, but you know your left and rights, right? And if you got 60%, you're like, well, based on what I know and based on what's right, I'm making a call. And sometimes it's not about making the right call or about making the wrong call. It's about making a fucking call. And I think right now we're living in a world where people are not willing to make a fucking call at all.
Making a decision at all.
That's right. They're risk adverse. And you can't be risk adverse. Like, not in our background. No fucking way. There's no chance that I would have done the shit I've done being a risk adverse person. You cannot afford that.
If you hadn't, like, even all the tough calls you made, even the bad calls you made, Chris.
I made bad calls for sure, man.
Yeah, if you hadn't made no call at all, it would have been even worse.
And that's, you know what? There's another old adage from the Army, and you guys all know this. It's better to make a bad decision than no decision. Right? You guys have heard that before.
Yeah.
And I live and fucking die by that. And I've made a lot of bad calls, and I'm sure you guys have too in life, right? Right? Fucking even like Bryce, you're a master corporal. It's a leadership rank. JT's a warrant officer. We got the 3 crowns right here. You're a leadership role. You're going to make fucking decisions with what you think, what you feel is the right thing to do with the information that you have. And sometimes they're fucking wrong. They're a bad decision. And fuck you. First of all, okay, talking about managing impact. You have to be able to accept that you will make bad decisions.
That's how you learn.
Right?
But no one talks about that.
No, because nobody wants to make a fucking bad decision, man. They're scared.
Yeah.
I get it. I make a lot of bad decisions, but I'm
one thing I started doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu just over a year ago, and one thing like my black belt would always tell me, he goes, it's not winning and losing, man. He goes, it's winning and learning. He's like, you got to be willing to lose. He goes, like, you got to be, you got to put it all out there to learn. And you're going to make a bad call, and you're going to effectively, like, in Jiu-Jitsu on the mat, you're going to get choked out. But if you're not willing to take that risk and get choked out, you're never going to be able to progress. So, like I said, it's not winning and losing; it's winning and learning.
No, 100%. It's you have to be prepared that you're going to make decisions that are not the fucking right ones, and that's just called life.
Yeah, and really, like, to go back to like the whole decision matrix and like how you're going to deal with like bad decisions, like within health in general, like especially as a paramedic, medic, all this other stuff, like the stakes are high. The stakes are high, and like you will make bad decisions. You will not, like, you're not going to save everybody. Like, you're not, as much as you wish you could. But like, just to go back to this whole thing, like, it's a different type of decision that you're going to make. You have as much or as little information as you want, and really, like, it's what you can live with at the end of the day. And like, I have had a lot of, and I'm not going to use the word bad decision. I've had lots of bad outcomes, and I've done everything right. I don't want to get into this one situation, but like I made every right decision, still didn't work out. Like it
Yeah,
would've
that's a
been
good
if I had
point,
Chet.
JT. That's a really good point. Is sometimes you're gonna do everything fucking right by the book or whatever that
Notebook.
looks like, and it still fucking ends bad. And you have to be able to carry that, right? Is that the right word?
That's the best way to do it. There you are with the colostomy bag. And those of you who don't know what a colostomy bag is, it's a hole in the front of your body that you poop in. There you are with the colostomy bag covered in shit. All the best intentions in the world, still fucked it up.
Yeah, but you can't let bad decisions like scare you off from making the next one.
No, shower it off. You know what,
Yeah.
Chris? Good way to circle it back. You have the frank discussion. You say, this is the part of the job that we signed up for. This is what we're going to do. And you know what the next part of this job is to go on and move on to the next situation, the next mission, the next problem, the next issue. So
Yeah, learn from and like you kind of nailed it there. Like sometimes you're gonna do every fucking thing, quote unquote, right, and it'll still end bad. That's okay. That's okay. Put that shit behind you, and don't let that fear of failing. It's okay to fail. Trust me, I fucking fail at a lot of shit. Um,
I feel like failing
that,
life right now.
that'll springboard you on your success next time. Like you have to still keep going and still make hard decisions in your life, whatever they may be, right? And then analyze the impact. Well, fuck, it worked out great. Wicked, cool. Or it went to complete shit, even though I did everything right. Doesn't matter. It's okay. It's okay to fail. Failing's fine. Actually, 98% of the shit I've ever learned in my life is I fucked it up at one point or the other. That's how I learn. Visual learner. Yeah. Cool. That's her. I think we're good.
that's all she wrote, or
Well,
what?
she wrote. Unless you guys
know
got
what?
anything else, man. I think we kind
Comes back to you know what? I'll be a little
we're not writing a self-help book here for fuck's sakes. We're just talking.
true. I'll be a little risque here. That is the deal of being a man. You make the hard decisions, you do the heavy lifting, and at the end of the day, you are completely disposable, and you are going to be judged by your peers. But that's the trade-off, man. When you make
Yeah.
those decisions,
And if somebody shits on you for the decision you made, fuck them. Tell them to go fuck off because they didn't have to make the decision.
you got to finger that cougar.
Finger that. There you go.
I think it was. I think there's a good. I'm not a fucking poem. That's the word I'm looking for. But it was anyway. There's Theodore Roosevelt, the president of the United States. The leader of the Rough Riders. He he talks about the man in the arena.
Yeah.
And are you willing to kind of step up and do that? Are you gonna sit on the sidelines, or are you gonna get in the fight? Because it's easy to sit on the sidelines, but it's hard to be the man in the arena.
Well, you know what? And the old analogy again, fucking three warrant officers and a jack, everybody who's been in front of the parade in front of you, it's easy to chuck shit from the rear rank, which means it's easy to be the guy that bitches about the problems in the office for you civvies out there. It's harder to be the guy up front to fucking go, yeah, I know that's a problem. I get it. I know. I have to make a fucking decision, not you. Don't whine about the problems. Bring the fucking solutions and make decisions, and then manage the decisions after the fact, whether it's right or wrong. Learn from what went right. Respect that things will go wrong or your decision was bad, even if everything was right that led up to it, and then fucking keep going. Like you can't. Don't be risk adverse. Anyway, I want to wrap this shit up because I need to smoke and I got to pee and I need a beer and all kinds of fucking life issues.
Wah.
JT Ferris, thank you. Bryce Hooper, thank you very much, sir. And Mr. Morgan Warren. That's it. I'm trying to get my fucking life sorted out here. I might be coming out to Toronto 1-2 April for the food truck takeover with Mr. Ryan Lindley and Crier Media. We'll see. Still working out some shit. But for all you people out east listening or watching this, you might see me April 1st, 2nd. I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you for watching. Here's my little buddy. I miss you.